Good morning, everyone. Are you guys excited to be here today? Because I know I am. So, yeah. So my name's Farisani Paul Rachikombo, and I'm currently based at the Johannesburg office and under the VFSO unit. So today I'll be delving into the world of web development with you guys, specifically comparing templating languages versus fully fledged frameworks. So going forward, um, so this talk will cover understanding templating languages and using fully fledged frameworks, and also making an informed decision of what to use when and why. So yeah, building a website is something that involves a lot of aspects such as structure, data, and presentation. So traditionally, web developers or software developers used to code everything from scratch. But thanks to the introduction of templating languages and JavaScript frameworks. So the templating languages that I'll focus on today is Handlebars, Pug, and EJS, together with frameworks such as Vue.js, Angular, and Next.js. So my main focus will be on EJS and Next.js, just to avoid going into too much time. So starting with templating frameworks, templating languages, we have EJS, and how this works is you have a data sitting somewhere in a server, and you also have your template that you generate in your back end. So every time you have to send your HTML document to the front end, you have to build both the data and the template together. So these templating languages allow you to actually inject JavaScript into HTML documents. So this way you can create more dynamic web pages without having to do a lot of things basically. And going to the framework side, I'll be explaining the frameworks using Next.js. So how these frameworks work is you have a server and a client. So the client is you going to Google and searching for google.com or any website. And your server is whoever is hosting, like your software developers, they are the ones who manage the server side. So what happens is you have your Next.js sitting between the server and the client. So it handles everything to do with compiling the entire HTML document and handling all the server side as well as the client side rendering. So these fully fledged frameworks, they also come with capabilities like routing and data fetching within them. So yeah, so how do you make an informed decision based on these two comparisons? So with templating languages, they are very easy to use and to learn, and you have more control over the HTML structure. And also they are very lightweight compared to the fully fledged frameworks. So imagine a scenario where you just want to build a simple blog for your personal website. Do you really have to go and use a fully fledged framework for it? Or you can just simply use a templating language and inject all your data dynamically into the templating engine. So yeah, fully fledged frameworks, they come with a lot of built-in features, which include routing, as I've mentioned, and they also become slow when you run them sometimes because you have a lot of libraries that are imported and like more added features, which can make your website to be slow when it has to render. But with templating languages, it's more direct because it's server side. You build everything on the server and then you send it to the front end. So I just have a small demo to show you guys how. So I built two apps. One is using EJS and the other one is using Next.js. So with Next.js, with EJS, I'll start with EJS. I'll just go to the to-dos. So these to-dos are coming from an API that I've hosted yesterday. So yeah, it seems like the Next.js loaded much faster than the EJS one for some reason. I don't know why, but it shouldn't be like that. Yeah, so this data that you see is coming from another server. So this is just a demo of how you can do data fetching within these multiple frameworks and templating languages. So going through the code, this is the code. So this is the React part of actually rendering your to-dos in the front end. So I'm using, so this is the Next.js part, right? So what happens is you have your React application. So it runs on the client, but everything is managed by Next.js. So I can do the same thing using EJS, and it involves like minimal code. So I can just download a template online and actually, this is too slow, but yeah. So I can actually just inject all the information that I get from the server and send the compiled HTML document to the front end with like all the data embedded into the HTML document. Unlike with a fully fledged framework, so what they do is they're basically doing the same thing, but they are using a lot of libraries. So for example, if I want to do something so simple like this, I don't have to really build the Next.js app because every time you build it, it comes with a lot of other added libraries that you might not want to use at that time. So I've also made a counter. Uh, so I'm just going to route to the counter page from the EJS. So if you still remember, this is, oh, I just made a mistake. So this is the EJS part. And this is the Next.js part. So with Next.js, I had to use an extra library for this because for me to be able to implement this, I have to use React on the front end. And yeah, I feel like it was a lot of work because let's say you want to build something that works and you only have one day. Do you really have to go and learn React or Vue.js, or you can just take your templating engine and inject your JavaScript and have your fully working website to go. Um, so, but there are a lot of features that the frameworks also come with, because this counter, how it's working, it's using the React use state library. So for me to be able to do the same thing in EJS, I had to write a couple of code. I have to document.getElement by ID. and add some event listeners to be able to do the same thing, which in React, it's only a few lines. So although these frameworks come with a lot of benefits, I feel like you don't need them every time when you create projects. And depending on the complexity of the project that you have to do, it's more important for you to decide how you are going to code your project. So in conclusion, I would say that both templating languages and fully fledged frameworks, they come with a lot of features that you guys can use. And by understanding their strengths and weaknesses, you can make an informed decision and choose which tool is best for your project. And remember, the ideal choice depends on your specific project and the requirements. Yeah, thank you so much, guys.